Welcome to the second... Ooh, hold on. Saying my mic is muted. No? I think we're good. All right. Welcome to the second segment of the Rigel channel, Rigel's Little Corner, or Rigel's mystical driftwood fort on the sandy beach of the cosmic navel. A place where a song runs through all of reality. Okay? Like in the movie A River Runs Through It with Brad Pitt. I loved Brad Pitt before The River Runs Through It, just for your information, in case you didn't know that. Like a river runs through it, a song runs through it. Okay? The song is the river. And this is a playful space. I want this to be a playful space that integrates traditional values, modern values, progressive postmodern values, and that which is emerging on the horizon of cultural evolution. Postmodern values, aka developmental philosophy, popularized by Steve McIntosh, integral theory, popularized by Ken Wilber, spiral dynamics, popularized by Don Beck and Claire Graves, and I would even say those who are exploring new words with the beginning meta, like metagelical from our very own Paul Vanderklay, or metamodern, metamodern. I don't know exactly who coined that term, but I have heard Brendan Graham Dempsey using it a bit, and I pay attention to him more than other people in the metamodern space. So today I am going to start off like I did on my first episode with just a little bit of creativity. We're kind of putting creativity at the top of the hierarchy of value and meaning on this channel, okay? At least for today. I'm going to start off with a little music, in the moment, improvisational piano that may turn into something else. Do that for a few minutes. I'm going to set myself a timer of 5 minutes so that you can emotionally have an endpoint to look forward to. Okay. And then riff on that for a little bit. In the meantime, I'm going to invite anyone who wants to join in. Oh, Sherry is already here. Sherry in the chat. Sherry, do you want to come hang out with me while I do this little preamble session here? I'm testing out my little features here. So I'm highlighting Sherry's comment. Look at that. So Sherry, there's your comment highlighted. I'm going to drop the, oh yes. Okay. I'm going to drop the link in the comments. This is all a big test, so please bear with me as I figure out the technology. Okay, Sherry's grabbing coffee. Oh man, Christian Baxter. Hey buddy, you're set to be featured in this show a little bit later. So I understand if you're at work, got to do what you got to do. You can always come back and rewatch. Okay, I'm putting the link in the chat. I wonder, is there a way to... I just starred that link. Okay. So I'm going to get started with my little free jazz piano playing. Just setting a timer for 5 minutes. But this time, I'm actually going to show you my hands. This will be the next. I'm kind of leveling up with my technology. So let's see what happens if I bring. Okay, there's my hands. There's my hands. Okay. I don't actually know how to make my hands then add back to the stage. You can see my hands. Look at that. Oh, okay. I'm getting some instructions from the peanut gallery, Christian. So I have to go to the app and then pin message. Oh my gosh, I'm learning in real time with my friends from the TLC. Also known as this little corner, a non-hierarchical space of digital hospitality. Okay, I'm done. Let's see. Can you hear the piano? Maybe just give me a little like thumbs up on hearing the piano there. And here, let's. I'm listening to myself on YouTube. There it is. Okay, I can hear the piano. All right, friends, get ready for 5 minutes starting now. I'm just going to put my head down and just listen to the cosmic navel, all right, which is coming right through this Earth Dome that I'm hanging out in, live from the Earth Dome. 5 minutes of Rigel, eyes closed, listening to the river song of God. See that? We're already integrating traditional values right here. All right. Just kind of touching the keys, don't know where I'm going to go. Okay. Oh, wow. That is juicy. Just right off the bat. Okay. All right. That wasn't quite 5 minutes, but I noticed my piano was starting to glitch. And I don't know if that's something I can solve really quick right here or not. Here, let's see. Okay, well, I do have another backup piano, but that was... All right, we're bringing to the stage. I see you back there, Sherry. We're bringing you to the stage here.
Hello.
Hello.
I made it.
Okay, wait, I can't hear you for some reason. Let me remove my keys. Burn your audio with all Wait, can you hear me?
I hear you.
You can hear me. Okay. For some reason, I can't hear you.
But you could, well, you muted your keys. So maybe.
I don't know why that is. Hold on, let me see if there's some other setting. Man. You muted your keys. Yeah, my keys are muted. Oh, all right, Grizz in the comments, you can hear her.
Hi, guys.
Oh my gosh. So why can't I hear you? That is so bizarre. Okay, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to check my settings real quick. So sorry about that. Oh, let's see. Now say something.
Hello?
Oh, I can hear you now, but now there's a little echo.
Uh-oh. Now I can't hear you. Now I hear you. I hear the hum.
Okay, watch what I'm going to do.
It's a good thing you know what you're doing.
Okay. Winsong Thurston. Bear with me.
Did you scold yourself using your middle name?
Oh my God. Stop. Okay. Let's see. Stop. It's just nice to be here with you.
It's nice to be here with you too.
Let's see if this is better. Is this better?
Even though you have the larger screen.
Can you hear me?
Yeah,
no, now you can't hear me. Oh my God.
I hear you. I hear you.
Guys, we're losing the audience.
I hear you completely. Totally hear you.
Okay. You can hear me?
I hear you.
Okay, now I hear you. Okay. Oh my gosh. So this is what happened. I tried to get too fancy with a second camera, and I didn't realize there were lots of audio settings I had to pay attention to with that camera. Oh my gosh. How are you, Sherry? Let me bring you kind of side by side, like two friends. So, Sherry, you are the first person to come live with me on my channel.
Yay.
I'm so glad you're here. Thank you for joining me.
Well, yeah. I know how it feels to be sitting there all by yourself talking to the ether. I hate it. I personally hate it. I can't stand doing it.
You know, there's actually something kind of freeing about it.
Well, I mean, I loved watching you explain your songs in those videos you made. You just made me laugh so much. It was so good. I really enjoyed it. So yeah, you have a gift for that.
I get lost in my own little world.
I'm really shy, actually. I'm a very shy person, but I've always been able to mask it with, I don't know, not seeming shy. So I hate being by myself on a camera.
All right. Well, I'm so glad you're here.
Well, I'm pumped to see what you got up your sleeve.
Yeah. Well, I had a couple of things up my sleeve, and How long do you have? Are you going off to another thing in a little
I
bit?
I have to go to town in. Wait, I have to see a clock. Hang on a sec. I have to go to town in 2 hours. 2 hours at the most. I got a couple hours. So
Oh
that's
wow.
not
So
long
you're fine. I was thinking maybe you had to go in like 15 minutes or something.
Well, no. I thought I actually went out early and did my chores just so I could be here, just so you know.
Oh gosh. Okay.
Roger.
This is so wonderful. This is better than I could have imagined having you here, Sherry. And I feel like I just want to say this out loud. I feel like there's something significant about having a woman on my TLC channel as the doorway to the cosmos.
Ooh.
Okay, the cosmic navel. It's a little bit weird when there's another person in the room. Like it totally just rolls off the tongue when it's just me by myself. But now that there's like another human being here.
Well, I mean, talking about navels with another woman is
right.
A little awkward.
A little awkward, but you know.
Let's just keep it at the cosmic navel.
The cosmic. Okay. All right. It's nice to see Griswold Grimm out there and Mandy out there in the chat. Haven't met Mandy yet, but you're welcome to join here with us. Okay, so this is what I was thinking of doing. Are you up for this, Sherry? I'm
gonna give it my best whirl.
Okay.
Whatever it is.
I was going to read a free write that I did a couple days ago. And then I actually have a couple little videos that are going to set up this conversation about trust and hospitality.
Okay.
But since we're still in kind of the creative process,
do it.
That liminal space between creativity and navels. Thank you. See, it gets less awkward. Like the more you say it, it gets less awkward. All right. I'm so glad to have you in the room with this. Actually, there may be something really awkward in this little free write that's going to make me second guess myself. Okay.
I'm gonna shut my camera off while you read.
Oh, no. Read. Keep it on.
Really?
Yeah. No, that's
feel chill.
No, chill. This is good. I'm already here. All right, here we go. This is a free write starting now. Is there a way to bring the spiral of development into my channel? Can I pick one item of traditionalism, one item of modernism, and one of progressive postmodernism, my creative self being vulnerable out in public, and smear them all together? What could I do that is integrative on my show? How do I embody that? What do I do with Donald Trump? Eventually he's going to come up. I'm not a conservative or a liberal. That is like so binary. I'm like literally a synthesis. Okay. A liminal space between worlds. I am a narthex to a church where you have some icons, canned goods for the local food bank, architectural drawings for a church temple that may be built in the next 5 to 20 years. I am a semicolon. I'm where the bathroom doors are within 2 steps of the candles that I buy for the prayers that I send up to Meadow, Joanna, and all the living, and for all those who I'm learning to let go of resentments, and those who I am excited about, a swirling spiral of inners and outers. And the timer went off.
Oh, that was good. I was highlighting some of the things.
Yeah, do you want to share any kind of hot takes?
Spiral of development.
Mm-hmm.
Integrative. Synthesis. Narthex, semicolon, bathroom and candles.
There's something about bathrooms and candles that just go together.
Well, they actually do.
They really do.
And inners and outers, but I didn't finish writing them because you were done.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. You know, it's interesting. Can I say something?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, please. This is pretty free-flowing.
Okay. I don't want to upset the schedule or anything.
Yeah.
But I was just talking to somebody today about shunning. And here, let's dip our toe into the MAGA, the MAGA thing.
Oh God.
Because
Okay.
he was riding with a friend who said that, he used to go to this tattoo artist quite frequently, regularly, and found out recently that he's a MAGA supporter. So he's not going there anymore. And my friend said to him, well, that's interesting. So essentially what you're saying is you'd like to take his livelihood away. Right? And then we got talking about it. And I was thinking, if you're a primitive person living in a jungle somewhere with a tribe and they shun you, it's death, right? Like if you want to take the thing right down to its core.
Yeah.
And because alone in the jungle, you haven't got a chance, really. I mean, you might survive for a while, but probably not long. So that's what you're wishing on somebody. So
Yeah.
you're just going to let that lie there.
It's sobering. It's sobering how quick, where the root of cancel culture goes to is like the death of our enemies. It's not just like we want to end the relationship. It's like we don't want them in this world.
Right. And it's a base instinct. Mm-hmm. It's not new. It's very, very old, right? Shunning, exiling, disgust. They're all connected, So, yeah, Mandy says we act like we've evolved beyond that. And here's the thing. We call it cancel culture. So I don't know if you've ever seen the thing that George Carlin did on words that he uses the term shell shock. So men that suffered trauma from the war were diagnosed with shell shock, and shell shock sounds like what it is. And the way George Carlin does it, he's like shell shock, right? But then they changed it to battle fatigue.
Really?
Yeah. And each time he demonstrates how the syllables get longer in the word. And it's a form of abstraction away from yourself. So you don't have to feel the implication or the impact of what it is you're actually talking about. Right?
Oh my God.
So it goes from shell shock to battle fatigue to post-traumatic stress disorder. Right. So it's way out there.
Yeah.
And he does it with a few other words. It's a great little bit.
Wow. Yeah.
And so when you say cancel culture, I'm like, cancel culture. Shunned.
Yeah. Just straight to the heart.
Let's get to the point, right?
Except the problem with the word shunned is it almost sounds fun. Or it almost sounds like fluffy a little bit.
Because
like,
it has an SH.
Yeah, it's like just shush.
Yeah, well, that's kind of how it happens too, right? It's silent treatment.
Yeah, silent treatment.
People do this. They just...
Yeah. It's interesting. I mean, I think this is the same phenomena of people like squabbling over small amounts of money versus like billions and trillions of dollars, or just you get over a certain amount and it's just like impossible to actually wrap your head around, and it becomes somehow less important.
Mm.
So,
Yeah. Everything's relative.
mm-hmm. All right. Well, thanks for kind of riffing off of my my free write, which you may have watched my first
I did.
segment of the Rigel show where I described the free write as actually diarrhea of the pen, which is a creative writing exercise
Yeah.
my junior high creative writing teacher taught
Love
us.
it. Love
Yeah.
it. I want to try it.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, anytime I can say diarrhea in front of another human, I'm just like, I'm there. I'm like, fart jokes get me every time. Every time. All of those. I'm like 4. My inner child is like 4 or 5 years old still.
Right.
Okay, so on to the next section of this segment. I was going to share a video of something that an example of digital hospitality in a way that I think is really important. And I'd love to get your kind of take on it. But there's actually two different videos I kind of wanted to watch, but we can let's watch this one first. So I'm going to do, it was on Christian Baxter's channel.
Cool.
Okay. So I'm going to do share screen. Again, bear with my technology. Okay, I'm going to share this like, look at this.
Oh, look at you go.
Oh my God, look at me. I'm like all newsy. I feel like Paul Vanderklay right here. Okay, so
You've been practicing.
I've been practicing, yeah. Okay, so here we are. All right, this one, trust and digital hospitality. Let's just start this one. Basically what happened is this guy entered Christian's channel. And he, I hope I get to meet this guy one day and would love to like have a conversation with him. But it just created like an interesting situation, which is the risk of inviting people from the YouTube algorithm just passing by. That's the risk, is you're going to find people that don't know like your little song and dance for your channel. So here we go. I'm going to play this. Whoa.
Still can't hear it.
Okay, so just note, you may not be able to read this on your screen, but this guy's name, he has a real name somewhere, but what he has on his display is Republicans are worse than Democrats then, which seems a little bit on the, perhaps inflammatory side of the spectrum. So just keep listening here.
I can't hear it, Rigel.
Oh, you can't hear it?
No, and Grizz says share tab audio must be checked.
I thought I practiced that. Oh my gosh. Okay, you guys. Thank you. I'm going to stop screen, present, and I kind of want to have you on screen with me too.
Grizz has got some instructions there for your...
Oh, he does.
Yeah. He's the pro.
Okay, you can also go full screen once you're sharing the tab, and it will just fill the tab, not your screen. Oh God, okay.
Well, that's just like when you hit that little full screen on YouTube.
Yeah.
Fills that little box that you've got up.
Yeah. All right, so it says to share audio, share a tab instead. Oh, Chrome tab. Oh, maybe that's what I need to do. All right. Let's try this again. Tell me, can you hear audio? Okay. All right. Oh, and if I make this full screen. There it is. Oh, okay. Thank you for bearing with me.
Good.
I mean, we still have 6 viewers. There are 6 people out there hanging out with us. Thank you.
Cool.
Okay. All right. Here's Christian Baxter and
yourself. We love to.
Yeah, like I said, remember I said somebody told me about your page. They said you got to go join them, check them out, give them a chance. Get to go over things with them.
Yeah, I think
I wasn't even sure if I had the right page, to be honest, but now I think I do.
You bring up a really good point, which is like trust and something like about digital hospitality. So like like the internet is open, and there's like the stream, like I do have like the StreamYard link, like tagged on or pinned on the chat, and it's interesting because I have there are people I trust and have relationships with that have like other channels and stuff, and they have, just like you, they've been like their channel got striked or whatever because of like somebody doing stuff, and so I'm in this phase of like growth on my channel where mostly the people that were paying attention to me are all people that I've had interactions with, and so like when I see a somebody that's commented on a few videos.
All right, so this was just a clip, and I think Christian did something really amazing here. And I don't know, Christian, if you were aware of what you were doing, but you kind of did this like developmental move of kind of moving outside of the stickiness of the situation and bringing it into the world of values. And I'll just stop the share for now. What he didn't say, what we didn't hear, but he says kind of 20 seconds later, is basically there's this like tension between trust and hospitality. Right. And I would say that what made me think about is this idea of a positive polarity, where you have two kind of opposite energies that can, if you over-identify with one side of the polarity or the other, it can become pathological or a toxic situation. But if you can bring them into what I call harmonic tension with each other, then it can be very kind of generative, and it's a really creative space, because opposites create sparks. But if it's opposite positions, like you spend too much money, you don't let me do what I want with my money, that's not a creative space. But if you can find out what the values are behind what's going on, then it can become really creative. And I don't know if Christian was intentional about that, but I see, and I want to see what you think about this, Sherry, because I think of the energy of trust and kind of focusing on trust as this, it's kind of like inward focused, and I think of like a garden with a wall, and creating this like space of flourishing where trust can happen, but it kind of requires keeping some stuff out. Yeah. Whereas hospitality feels very like outward focused, and it's riskier because you're just kind of inviting, anyone in. And when in terms of like looking at that polarity happening inside of me, like I want both the trust system to be operating, and I want the hospitality to be operating alive and well. But if I become overly focused on trust, I tend to, I think, focus on like the problem, and I just become like overly sensitive to things that don't belong. Whereas suspicious, yeah. Whereas if I am maybe over-identifying on hospitality, then I can just get kind of diluted. Like all of my energy just gets kind of evaporated by trying to maybe please everybody or just meet everybody where they're at, but I'm not grounded. And so I end up just disappearing a little bit in the process. So I don't know. Does any of that, anything come up?
Oh, totally. Since you mentioned it, you know, I'm a woman in your podcast here. So I have a pretty distinct experience of what it means to trust and what hospitality looks like, because I don't have any upper body strength. Right? So who do I invite into my space, and how do I go about developing trust so that it's a commodity, right? That ensures some kind of safety, actually. Like there's an exchange there, I think. And one of the things about trust that's interesting, that I had to learn through experience, painful experience, was that trust is something that you have to give. It's not something that can be earned, actually. We always think it has to be earned. But
say more about that.
Well, I can tell a story. That's what I'm good at.
Let's do stories. That's my level of like intellectual kind of ability anyways.
I have a hard time laying these things out propositionally, but
yeah, me neither.
So I had a period of time where my husband and I were separated for about a year and a half. And when things started coming back together again, I was in counseling with a psychologist, and he wanted to talk to me about trust, right? And in relationship to my marriage, I said, well, he's going to have to earn it. That's all there is to it. He's just going to have to earn it. And there was this like awkward silence, and my psychologist said, well, Sherry, you realize though that trust can't be earned. It has to be given. And you know, I was like, I'm not doing that. Because that makes you vulnerable.
Yes.
Right? And that's where the hospitality thing comes in. Because when you decide to trust, when you give someone that trust, then you end up letting them in. Right? Now you have invited them in. And I think that's how they work together. But then I realized that I was just being defensive about it. I was protecting myself. And because I was protecting myself, I also realized that he was right about giving it. Because my husband could dance to my tune for 25 years. But if I never gave him my trust, he would never have it. He could try and try and try to earn it. Right? But if I don't give it to him, he doesn't have it.
Damn. Yeah. You're so right. What that made me think of is like the risk of kenosis.
Yeah.
It like that at the end of the day, you're risking everything to like give yourself like that.
Yeah. And there's a reciprocal response to giving trust if it's done in, if there's no ill intention like within the relationship to begin with, because what it does is it because it's a gift, there's a response of gratitude from the other person. And so they automatically will earn the trust, right? So you basically have opened the door to the person being able to show that they're trustworthy, right? Because if there's a breach of trust, that has to be accomplished at the same time. You can't just gloss over it, right? You can't just say nothing happened, it's fine. That's just dumb. Because here's the thing. If so I make these different healing salves for the, and things like that. And there's one that I make called comfrey salve, and it has to be made with an antiseptic herb as well, because comfrey heals so quickly that it'll seal in infection.
Oh, wow.
And then you become septic. Okay. So if you're wounded and you gloss over the pain, the wound, right? You just scab it over real quick. You actually can seal in an anaerobic bacteria that will eat you alive.
Oh my God.
Right?
That's
so
such a brilliant metaphor. Yeah.
Yeah. So, these things have to come to the surface. They have to come to the air. They have to come to the light. They have to be exposed. I mean, we use all those terms, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so there's no use in just glossing over the breach of trust, but it begins with the giving of it. Mm-hmm. And then it gets reciprocated, and the healing comes from the inside out. Mm-hmm. Right.
Yeah. And that's, I think, why I appreciated what Christian did in mm-hmm. that exchange is he made an effort to.
He trusted that guy.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I you saw that I was on the call too. Yeah. And I was like real uncomfortable, and, I'm like, mm-hmm. I may not have, let that situation last that long. But
I didn't, I just saw that little clip, so I don't know what preceded it. But
it actually wasn't that disruptive, but
it had potential.
It had some potential. Like it looked like, my sense was like he was looking for a fight. Mm-hmm. And I'm like not skilled enough in those kind of high pressure moments to just deal with that.
Here's my list. You're an integrator, synthesizer, semicolon, right? So you're wanting to go like this, and somebody comes in and they want to go like that.
Yeah, yeah.
Right. So of course you would feel that way.
Yeah.
Because how do you, when something explodes, there's lots of pieces that you got to put back together again.
Yeah.
When you're the synthesizer, I'm the same way. I'm not conflict averse. I can handle myself if I have to. I mm-hmm. just don't want it to happen.
Yeah. No, that's the thing. Mm-hmm. I mean, conflict, I don't know. Conflict, there's so much potential in conflict. I think if you can let it air out, and not just scab it over mm-hmm. with the sealant.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I wanted to play a couple more little clips to savor some delicious little TLC hospitality. And I don't really know if I'm supposed to do this. Like, I'm playing, people who I may be disagreeing with on my little space here. So I'm open to feedback if this gets kind of off the rails. But the underlying question that I came up with that's kind of driving this is, how do you create an online environment that builds trust while also fostering a sense of hospitality to the stranger, the neighbor, the Samaritan, and I feel like there's things, having spent some time building communities either in my neighborhood or with my songwriting community, I've experimented with different levels of policy to kind of maintain the walls of the garden, if you will. And I've learned that sometimes that can kill everything in the garden, and because bees can't get in. You gotta have bees for your garden, okay? It can't be like an iron dome. Mm-hmm. But sometimes it can be too open, and then other things kind of kill the garden.
Mm-hmm. Pesticides.
Yeah, that's right. Pesticides. Where was I going with that? Certain walls. Yeah. Okay. I'll just play my other clip. So let's go to share screen, and I think if I go back, here we go. Okay, so the next person I'm going to savor with you, Sherry, is Luke Thompson. I think Luke was probably the first person that I ran across in this whole TLC space. Mm-hmm. This was probably a few weeks ago, maybe even a month ago now, I can't remember, where this guy Wesley came on the channel, and something really miraculous happened, I thought. Okay, so I'm gonna just play. I may not play all this, but let's just see. Let's see here. Watch, share clip.
No.
What's going on? What are you saying?
I don't think you want to click on those. It should just
play.
Yeah.
Okay, let's just like reload this page. There we
Millions of people are going.
Wait, hold on. Okay, so let's start from the beginning of this clip.
Everyone with that mark of the beast on that day are going to fall dead wherever they are, in their house, on the streets, in the town, on a bus, driving a car, doesn't matter. They fall dead that day. Worldwide, millions of people are going unlearned, are going to take that money. I mean, let's face it, somebody says you got $32,000, you'll do whatever they want you to do. And they'll willingly be branded with a handheld laser, a barcode. In each barcode is the number 666.
I love how specific, like, your vision of this has a lot of detail. Like, it's a handheld laser.
So I just loved
that's so good.
Luke's ability to just like meet him where he's at. And this guy might be very right on some interesting level. Mm-hmm. I don't know, but I had seen Wesley on Luke's channel a few times, and Luke and everyone there was like great at including him. But he had his, like, the reason he was there was to tell this story about the mark of the beast. And then this is what happened, which kind of blew my mind. So I can't remember where this. Oh, I have to reload. Here we go.
What kind of music are you into?
Okay, so someone in the comments, I think it was Tay, I can't remember. No, Pick and Choose. Pick and Choose was like, hey, ask him what kind of music he likes.
Oh, wow.
And this was just incredible. Like, I was not expecting this, but I'll show you what happens.
Pick and Choose is wondering.
Sure, I am a huge Pat Metheny, Lyle Mays fan. And I also like Prokofiev and Rachmaninoff, and I'm also a big fan of this new band called Knower, Knower.
Huh.
I find their work to be beautiful. Somewhat really strict funk that goes off into these beautiful, gorgeous, soft, chordal, modal melodies that are really can just.
What?
I know. Did you see?
Go ahead.
Did you see his channel? He has a channel, Marielle, who's in the chat. Marielle shared it, and the guy plays piano like you would not believe.
No way! Oh my God, that's amazing. See?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm definitely gonna go check out this guy's.
Marielle, if you could, can you link the channel in the chat, Marielle? I think you can put links in the chat.
Yeah, if you can throw that in the chat.
Or at least the title of his channel. I think it's his name, Wesley Curry.
Yeah.
Yeah, she shared it on the Grail Country Discord, and I clicked on it. I was just like, what? I got the vibe of the character from the movie Shine. Do you remember that movie? about a young Australian pianist who suffered mental health issues. But he was
Yes, I think that was
child prodigy.
like mid 90s or
Yeah,
something. Okay.
I'm old.
No, but this is that combined. Okay, so just a little fun fact. That combined with the fact that my family didn't allow a TV in our house until I was like 14.
Okay.
I missed the entire 80s. And so that movie probably came out around the time we were even allowed to watch TV.
Well, I remember, yeah, actually it was late 90s because we were living in Telegraph Creek. So yes, Stephen, we do judge. We do. And like Wesley's been in and out of the corner for a while, actually. I think he probably has more what's the word for it? More settled times in his life and more turbulent times in his life. Something like that, you know? And, you know, when he's talking, when you shared that first clip, I was thinking about the conundrum because both of us are synthesizers, right? So it's like people want to have biblical things as metaphorical or analogical or allegorical or literal. And I always say, why not both? Because that's to me, that's the miracle. Because that's incarnation.
Totally.
Right?
Yeah.
So like, if, for example, somebody asked me and he was bipolar and schizophrenic, and he was very manic at the time. And so he was talking to me about the Bible constantly, like blah, 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 blah. It was just about diarrhea, right? It was diarrhea, verbal diarrhea. And I said to him, okay, look, I'm going to give you, and I'm talking like days. He was staying in my house. And I said, I'm going to give you 15 more minutes. And then we're not talking about this for at least 3 more hours. Because I was just I was so worn out.
Yeah.
And he's like, okay. And then he asked me a question. I don't remember what. And I mentioned Adam and Eve in the garden. And he goes, you believe in that? You think that there was like a man and a woman in a garden? And I looked at him and I said, well, why wouldn't I? I believe that Jesus rose from the dead. You know, and that he flew up into heaven. Like, I don't think there's anything crazier than that.
Yeah, nothing crazier than that.
Let's just go with the Adam and Eve story for now, okay? So yeah, when Wesley talks about these things in such detail, I think we can safely take them literally and metaphorically and allegorically and spiritually and psychologically. And, you know, I mean, that's a palette of color, right? You can really play with that.
Yeah. So fun.
So much fun.
It's so much fun. Yeah. Well, when he started describing like the beauty of funk, I was like, oh, we know each other. Like, I totally get you.
Yeah.
Like, yes. You were talking about setting boundaries with this guy who is staying with you.
Yeah.
Which is just brilliant. But this is something that, similar situation. I was separated with my wife for like 6 months. And part of, like, we went to hardcore therapy like multiple times a week. It was more money than, like, I didn't grow up believing in therapists. Like, therapists was for like the weak. Or not the weak, sorry. Actually, therapist was for the crazy.
Oh yeah, and we're never crazy, right?
Yeah. But what I feel like I learned, like my big takeaway from all of that therapy, was how to set a boundary while leaning in at the same time, like leaning in, saying I love you while setting a boundary, and being able to create that interdependent space of individual and the collective wholeness of our relationship.
You know what,
And,
Roger? I just want to say this before I forget it. We do it every single day when we say goodnight.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah.
That's, you have to go away from people, places, and things in order to re-energize so that you can minister unto people, places, and things. Right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Or we say good night. I'm tired. Good night. And we just charge our batteries, right? And we have conversations with ourselves, and our dream world says, you need to pay attention to that, and don't take this too seriously. And,
Yeah. Oh, that's a whole nother rabbit trail to go down with you.
Yeah.
Cool.
I just want to say, it's so interesting talking about this with you this morning, because at like 6 this morning, I was having a conversation with somebody about this: boundaries, exclusivity, shunning, conflation of shunning, and, acknowledging a process, right? Where people have to cross certain thresholds and should be expected to cross those thresholds. Like, we don't give a toddler an axe till they've crossed a certain threshold, right? And that may take them years. So, yeah.
Yeah. No, and that's the, I mean, you're going to quickly find out that I'm kind of a one-trick pony, but because I keep coming back to like this developmental worldview, you're like, oh, is he selling me? Is this like like a pyramid scheme?
I started your conversation with Christian from 3 weeks ago where you're getting into this.
Yeah.
Then I had to go do my chores because I wanted to be here.
Yeah.
And but I'm going to finish it because I was all ears. It was all ears.
But this idea of what were you saying? You're talking about like seeing this person, like a child with an axe, and you're like, yeah, you're not developmentally ready for that yet.
Right.
And it gets tricky when you're with other peers, other adults, because if I'm like placing myself developmentally above someone else, I don't know that doesn't feel super jazzy in my soul. But there is a way to, like, if someone's coming at me with kind of, antisocial type behavior, like, that's a way that I can actually meet them where they're at, is to see through a developmental lens that, there's something that hasn't caught up yet, or that hasn't been developed, or whatever. Right. But then I can actually soften a little bit and just see them more of a person. Can't remember where I was going with that, but developmental, one-trick pony. Marielle says, always having each other's process in mind and graciously understanding where people are at. Dang it. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Okay, stop. Go lie down, please. Stop.
So,
a very underdeveloped dog. Super needy.
Yeah. So here's the developmental reality of my life in this very moment. I have to pick up my son from school pretty soon. But I wanted to just like let people get to know you a little bit, like as the multitudes flock to this channel, and they're like, who is this Sherry person? Can you just tell me, like, where you're calling in from and what you had for breakfast today? Like, I want to get nitty gritty.
Okay, well, I am from the central interior of British Columbia, where this morning it was minus 25 degrees Celsius. And so that's why my dogs are all in, because they're like, it's freaking cold, you know. And I don't eat breakfast because I'm a carnivore. So I eat 1, sometimes 2 meals a day. And because carnivore is the, proper human diet. Shush. Hang on a second.
Proper human diet. Carnivore. Carnivore. Okay, just wanted to.
My satiety levels are so high that I don't get hungry. So, but I do enjoy coffee, which is, kind of on the edge of carnivore living, but whatever. I put lots of real whipping cream in there, lots of fat.
Good.
And that's it. That's the 2 questions you asked me, right?
Yeah. Well, I'm so glad. That's like a whole nother topic we could just dive into, because I sort of share that perspective with you.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Cool. Very cool.
Yeah. Well, you're such a fun conversation partner. I'm like so glad that you were the first person here to join me on this channel. I don't know what I'm doing, but I feel like I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing when you're here chatting with me. So,
yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have time for me to read a short poem?
Please. Please. Yes. That's like the best way to end this. Oh my gosh.
I don't know if I have it in here. Where did I put it?
That's what I need to do is like, as I'm going along, I'm kind of like iterating I have like a little bit of an agenda, with my notes here. And then the next time I'll kind of iterate. But because I'm wanting to just orient a little bit more towards sharing and creativity and storytelling, because I'm not super propositional, like all these people on the TLC are so freaking smart. I'm like,
I'm going to just go around the corner, grab another book.
Okay. I will just, I'm going to play a little Montuno. Oh, you know what? Never mind. My little music setup is no longer, I think, connecting. Well, maybe it is. Let's see. There's never down to. Can you hear my piano?
I hear it. It's beautiful.
Yeah. I was a hired, I call it sound wallpaper at a fancy restaurant.
Oh, yeah.
Up until just a couple of years ago.
Really?
That was my day job, was lounge singer, piano player at Trulux. All right. Do you have your poem?
I never did lounge singing, but I did wedding singing. So
it's the same. No. It's exactly the same.
Yeah, because nobody's listening.
Nobody's listening, but every once in a while, like someone listens and they're like, I so appreciate you, or like you play their song and then make their night.
Yeah. Okay, so I just wanted to say this before I read this poem. Is it called?
No.
Okay. I'm just really glad that you're opening up a creative space.
Oh.
Hello. A creative space, because that's why I'm here, Rigel.
Mm.
And as much as I can be, I'll be here for this because I love it. So anyway, I'm going to let you go because I know you got to go. So here we go. This is a poem I wrote when I was about 19 years old. Okay. A long time ago.
Awesome.
It's the finding and the knowing, the hurting and the growing. It's the facing and the losing face. It's the running and the towing and the heavy syrup flowing, the aching in the bones and no home. I cannot quite place it, nor can I quite face it. It's a dying heart beating with no blood to replace it. It's a no one loud knocking, and a nobody still talking, alone yet still walking still. It's the 2/3 you can, and the third that escapes you. It's 100 lives living and dying that make you. It's the twist and the twist and the twist till it breaks you. And you hold up your head, and it's lies that have made you.
Oh my gosh. That's beautiful. You did that when you were 19?
Yeah.
Okay. I need to go through that line by line and do a Lectio Divina on each one. That's what I'm going to do.
Cool.
That's amazing. Oh my gosh. So great. That was my mother, who was just poking her head in, wanting to join me. But one thing that she doesn't know, Mom, so sorry for shooing you out of my Earth Dome, is I have headphones on, so she can't hear. She wouldn't be able to hear anything,
right.
And I'd have to change all my audio settings, which I'm like, audio settings, panic. So, okay, Sherry.
She's watching right now.
I think she
Hi,
might be.
Rigel's mom. I heard you say hi.
Erica. Erica is my
Erica.
mom's
Hi,
name.
Erica.
Yeah. I feel like y'all would get along.
Mm-hmm.
All right. This has been so lovely. I don't have any better way to end this than just thank you for bringing your poetry and your creativity and your synthesis spirit into this space.
Yeah, I'm all about it. So glad
All right.
for you, Rigel. Thank you so much for the space.
All right. Thanks, Sherry.
Bye-bye.
Take care. Bye-bye.